Let's welcome back to the Sports Show. Of course, it's always exciting when you get to the last round of anything and the finals are just around the corner. Everybody's up and about and exciting. So let's have a look at this weekend's games that are important to us, and let's talk about our two teams. So Friday night, big game, Bulldogs v Power at Marvel Stadium. Wow. What are you thinking?
It's a bumper. Yep. It's an absolute belter. That's what it is.
Be a sellout?
Well, of course, has to be. It will be too. No, I don't reckon they'll get anyone.
No crowds.
I don't reckon they'll get anyone.
Disappointing for the AFL.
Poor game.
Gee, that's a heartbreaker, isn't it?
But what a game that is. I mean, had you said to me probably 6-7 weeks ago about the Bulldogs, I would have said Bulldogs will win this game. But I'm not sure about the Bulldogs anymore.
I'm with you, Barry, for sure.
I think losing a player like Josh Bruce.
Well, they've lost their last two.
Well, it just throws you out of whack a little bit. It just throws you out of whack.
It's shown that, hasn't it? You know, once he's got injured last week, they did struggle a little bit, and the Power after half time, they'd really turned it on. I mean, that was it was just perfect footy for a half of game. I couldn't believe how well they played.
Admittedly, Carlton were down a few and whatever, but I think more importantly, Port were up a few, getting a few blokes back.
Dersman was very good over 4 quarters. I thought Butters was very good over 4 quarters.
Rosie.
Rosie. So the players are sort of coming back into the. Houston had a few injuries. He was outstanding that second half, and those players are sort of putting 4 quarters together.
Yeah.
It looked like it actually took a half a footy for them to really get into action, and they were perfect.
And if you look at the last time they played the Bulldogs, it was only 19 points. I think the Bulldogs got a 6-goal start or something. They went whack, 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 best. And that was the best I'd seen anyone play at Adelaide Oval against Port.
Barry, how fast are they? How fast are Port Adelaide on their on-ball?
I think that's the key right now.
It's a wow factor. It really is a wow factor. Yeah.
Did they? They didn't have those players when they were playing the Bulldogs last time. Port were under strength. Well, now it's a different story. Port
It'll be hard to beat.
Full whack. Bullies have got a couple of dodgy ones. So this is a cracker game, mate. If you miss this game, you know.
All right, let me throw a curveball at you. We don't do this in Australia. They do it really well in Europe. They have a look at who they're going to play first round in the finals, and if they can manipulate who they play, they'll go for it. Australia, we're all about winning. We pride ourselves. We don't lie down for anyone. We win, but they're crafty and cagey. So we're not going to argue about which one, but my point to you right now is if they were to lose to the Bulldogs, Port lose to the Bulldogs and finish 4th, then they play probably Melbourne. Probably be at the MCG in front of no one. Or they play Geelong. Now, Geelong, I've got a sneaking suspicion that Geelong are going to get a game at Geelong. So if you're Port Adelaide, do you want to play Geelong at Geelong or Melbourne at the MCG in your first game into the finals?
No, I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't think Port care.
What do you think, Ando?
I think they've got to win. I think they've got to win and just take whoever's on the plate next.
So you don't think it'd be an easier game against Melbourne at the MCG than Geelong at Geelong?
I think that'd be
Geelong
easier,
are nearly
but you
invincible
can't.
down there, though.
Yeah.
But at Geelong, the dynamics change. If you're playing Geelong at Marvel, or you're playing Geelong at Melbourne...
I can see. I know what you're saying,
And you lose your best defender, which Geelong have done, probably, and number 1 in the AFL, by the way, on a lot of stats.
I'm just saying, if you're sitting there as a coach, if you're a European coach, you're sitting there and you're looking at that going... Well, we've been able to handle Melbourne really well this year. Geelong actually been a problem for us. We'd like to miss them until we get to the grand final. Then we'll have a crack at them. Or you go,
fair.
It's fair. I don't think Port care who they play.
Well, who would Geelong rather play?
Oh, I don't think they want to play Port.
Well, I don't think they want to play Port either.
No, nor do I. Not right now. So... All right, just quickly, and we'll get off them because we've got a couple of other things to get to. Last year, Port finished on top of the ladder. End of mine around. This year, they're going to finish. It looks like they're going to finish in 3rd. It's a strange one. I think they've had a better year this year than they had last year, but they're in 3rd place and not top.
They're playing better.
Well, I think they've just come up into it beautifully. We discussed it before with with Dersman and Butters and so many
more games,
ins and outs, but they've all just come together now for this run home, and they've just played some fantastic footy the last month or so. I know it was a tough game against in the showdown, but they always are. They end up winning that game, but. I think they'd be a very, very hard side to beat. They're coming together beautifully as a team, and players that have missed 12, 13, 14 weeks. They've now got 3 or 4 games under their belt, and they're really playing well as a team.
I've got to give some credit to the selectors at Alberton too, because and I think a lot of Port Adelaide people will, because you've got blokes like Carl Amon and Willem Drew. Now, 2 years ago, you wouldn't have given 2 bob for either of them. You would have gone,
no question.
Have they made the grade? I don't think so. Maybe they'll get rid of those blokes. Maybe they'll move Drew on He didn't play a game 2 years ago. Move him on. Carl Amon was very close to going back to Victoria, but the club stuck with him. And the supporters are going, well, hang on a minute, well, he hasn't done anything. Well, I think now those two players are as important as anyone in the Port Adelaide side.
We know they are.
And Drew.
Yeah, Drew's been
great
fantastic.
players. So for those people that like the bag selectors, I'm giving
them
one to the
pat
selectors.
on the back.
Yeah,
All right, well done by
the
the selectors on those two. I want to talk to you about the Crows now. Of course, they play North Melbourne on the weekend here at Adelaide Oval.
There's
a chance that if they win this one, there's a chance they go to 15th on the ladder. Of course, they were bottom last year, so regardless win or lose, they're going to be better placed than they were last year.
Yeah.
So you kind of go, last year, okay, bad year, they've improved this year. Now, the problem with winning, of course, is that they jump up the ladder and they start to forego some really good draft picks. Again, do you go, we're actually better off losing this game and getting a young kid from South Adelaide who's a star.
They reckon he's a star. He's a star.
Here, we can get these guys there. You go, or no, we need to win because that's the most important thing. So big picture stuff says really losing the game would actually be better for us as far as improving the team and draft picks. Winning looks good because it shows we've jumped from.
We know how important that part of it is, that they're getting the early draft picks. And we look at Carlton when they got penalised. It took quite many years to try to get some momentum going. And I think the Crows with Kurt Tippett that issue when they got penalised with draft picks as well. The only thing is, I actually feel probably the last month or so that some of their younger players have actually sort of stepped up.
Yes,
and I think they're actually playing quite well. So, if you asked me a month ago, I'd just say, look, I'm really hoping they lose because they need some draft picks. But I think, we saw a bit of light at the end of the tunnel with some of the selections over the last probably 6 to 8 weeks that, hang on, they got some good talent here. They didn't show it at all in the first part of the half of the season, but they're certainly showing it now. And I think they'll be quite excited, going into next year with some of the performances of some of their youngsters.
Yeah, I wouldn't be deliberately losing it.
No.
All right, so they're not going to lose that. Just quickly then, 6 wins this year, 3 wins last year. Their improvement, I think, has been obvious. You've touched on it there. If you're a Crows supporter, are you comfortable that they're heading in the right direction now?
No.
Because?
Because of who they've got rid of.
Right.
I can't believe they've moved Talia and Lynch off. Well, if you're rebuilding, they're the type of guys you need. Yeah. You need that.
Lynch has been great since he's come back here.
You need the experience.
I actually thought that he virtually turned the game the game around against in the showdown. He just gave him that other target and
Talia's
really
29.
And of course, unfortunately, Talia's been injured most of the year. But we know what he's worth. As a leader and as a backman, so
can't believe that.
The hard players to get hold of.
What comes in, and if it's just a group of young kids, there's a chance they could slip backwards instead.
Well, if you're going to rebuild, Phil, you need that guy that's 29 and all Australian. You need those guys.
He's an unbelievable fullback.
Do they get picked up?
Talia.
Will they get picked up?
Talia is such an important player. He's been really missing for sort of probably 18 months. But wow, when he's fit, he's an outstanding player.
And they've offered Lynch the
coaching role,
AFLW.
All right, you two.
Well, there's a big drop in wages.
All right, we need to go. That's always the whack. There's a chance they could both get picked up. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Look, we've got across the AFL, we've got across the SFL.
You've recovered from your drive.
I tell you need to get out the bend and have a look at that. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. We'll look forward to your company next week. Bye for now.